Chivalry of a Failed Knight is something you want to watch that is not on a huge screen because of what you see on it, and on a low volume because the girl voice actors are always doing something very unnecessary when voice acting. Short story time on how I got introduced into this anime. I was at the gym with the bros one day and we were talking about anime lifting weights, of course. My bro tells me, hey, you should watch Chivalry of a Failed Knight, it's a good watch. He said nothing more or less than just this sentence, and oh boy, I was not expecting full-on fight action sequences with a slice of anime and also a hint of romance and very questionable scenes as well. Let's go over why Chivalry of a Failed Knight is one of the most beloved romance anime to exist and why this is one of my favorite anime I have watched this year. Chivalry of a Failed Knight follows the story of Kurogami Ikki, a failed blazer. You see, this world has individuals called blazers who can manifest weapons known as devices, which are projections of their soul. These blazers attend schools to hone their skills and are ranked based on abilities. They all hope to graduate as knights to go and save people in the real world. Ikki though failed his goal of reaching knight status last year attending this school. He actually has a nickname called the worst one because he is ranked at F rank. This school has ranked students in terms of abilities and strengths, and poor Ikki is the lowest rank in the school, F. Ikki meets his new roommate for the new school year, Princess Stella Vermilion of the Vermilion Empire, and meets her in a high fashion in her undergarments. And to make her feel like it's even, Ikki takes off his own clothes too. Probably one of the best ways the story could have introduced these characters. We meet the new headmaster of this school in her office with Stella and Ikki discussing how Ikki was perverted for entering her room like that. Stella says it was very intrusive of Ikki to do this to her, and Ikki has to take responsibilities for his actions. And one of the main things he has to do is apologize to Stella, of course, which he does apologize, but then the argument turns even heated and Stella uses some of her powers to intimidate Ikki. When she starts getting aggressive, the literal adult, the literal master of the school, steps out of the room because she sees it's about to get very dangerous in there, which is pretty funny. But before anyone gets killed, the master opens the door and says, oh yeah, by the way, y'all are roommates. So Ikki did nothing wrong because this was also his room. They visit the dorm room where they're going to be staying, and Stella basically comes up with the best plan in the world for herself. She finds out Ikki is an F rank and is a failure at becoming a blazer. And she realizes she's the best rank in the school, an A rank. And she decides, hey, we should battle, we should duel. This is a common thing to do in the school. There's a lot of fights in the school, and we'll see later in the story why this is important. But she comes with a plan that they should duel. But instead of fighting for who keeps the room, whoever loses this match in this fight has to be the other person's slave for the rest of their lives until their last breath. So if Stella wins, which she should win because she's an A rank, that means Ikki has to be her slave the entire time he's alive. Pretty funny stakes, and yeah, I know this sounds very spicy if you know what I mean, but Stella believes she will win because why shouldn't she? She's the princess of an empire and she's gonna go against an F rank guy. She's got this in the bag, right? Well, she gets obliterated by Kurogami. Like, actually, this motherfucker is somehow able to be the A rank princess. How? He has an ability he has practiced and honed in on himself for hundreds of hours, if not thousands, and it's called Iroshun. I hope I pronounced that right. He puts all his energy and little mana he has into himself for 1 minute, which makes him a formidable opponent. I mean, he puts in all of his energy into 1 minute, which gives him a lot of strength, but only for a minute. That, with his combat ability with his sword, he is able to read people's moves and copy them to a certain point. He takes the school and Stella by surprise, beating her in a duel. They both get checked up for injuries and recover, and then go back to their room. And Stella then says, you can ask me to do whatever you want now. Which was, again, whoa, did I click on anime or hint? But Ikki is a respectable man and isn't trying to do anything in that regard. This is how these two lovebirds start the beginning of their friendship, which turns into a romantic relationship. The other characters in the show are actually pretty good too, but one of the weird characters in the show is Ikki's sister. She's alright, other than the weird shit she does. And what is that weird shit you say? Incest. Yeah. She loves him, and I mean loves him. But anyways, she ends up being in one of the best fights in the show, going against the president of the school, and honestly it was really good and she put up a pretty good fight. Alice is a close friend of Ikki's sister, who I thought was going to be creepy and weird, but ended up actually being a pretty cool main character. They were basically really in tune with themselves, which allowed them to help and support the main cast of characters when it came to fights, but also emotionally as well. Alice is there a lot for Ikki when he's going through tough times, and he's able to read into a situation very fast. It's crazy. I just mentioned two of the main components that make the show really good. The action and fight scenes for the main character are pretty good, which I thought they weren't going to be. Like I said, I had no idea what to expect watching the show, and when I saw the relationship that Stella and Ikki had from the beginning, I had a good feeling this was going to be a romantic show. But it's a kick-ass romantic show because it has a lot of action in it too, which makes it very cool because there's a lot of fight scenes and action sequences. One of the best action sequences I have ever seen in an anime happened towards the end of the show, and I was very shocked by it because it didn't last long, but it was very fucking cool to see. The last thing I want to talk about is the emotional and mental side of this show. We see all of Ikki's pasts and how it's been really rough on him. Like I said, I forgot to mention this while I was writing, but Ikki's father hates him so much that the previous master or headmaster of the school purposely would fail Ikki and do anything in his power to make him fail. Pretty fucked up, but then he gets a new headmaster that we meet, the girl in the beginning of the show, and she's actually really nice to him. Anyways, we find out that his family does not like him because he was embarrassingly weak in power compared to the rest of the family, which is sad to see, but his grandfather was the only person to save and help him. He said something along the line of, the feeling of annoyance you have shows you don't want to give up, and that right there is all the drive you need to get stronger. Pretty nice way to put it from his grandfather. And we see how much Ikki has gone through, and it's impressive to see he was still a stand-up guy. Stella slowly falls for him because he was able to see her for who she is, a hardworking blazer and not just some princess who has pure talent. He also has some riz and compliments her a lot in a lot of different scenes. Stella really likes Ikki, and it's really funny seeing how she gets jealous and worried about him all the time. But she does not do it in a toxic way, which is why I really enjoyed watching the show. This is actually a very healthy relationship that they both have, and it only grows from the beginning. They actually make this vow together to push each other into making it to the 7-star national tournament, I believe that's what it's called. To get to this national tournament, you have to win 20 selective match battles, meaning every single student in this school has to fight 20 times, and you have to win 20 fights in a row to compete in that stage, a high stage, and that alone is very difficult to do. But they both strive for this goal because they want to fight each other again. We see them set pretty hard goals for each other that they want to strive for, which shows they want to be better all around. Honestly, I feel like almost anyone can watch the show for pretty simple reasons. 1, this show is really funny sometimes and will catch you off guard with some of the scenes. 2, the romance between Ikki and Stella is pretty cute. If you're single, this might make you mad. 3, the action was surprisingly well, and I wish we had more of it. And 4, the characters and story are pretty solid in my opinion, and wish this has a season 2. I had no idea what to expect when I was watching Chivalry of a Failed Knight, but I was surprised in a very pleasant way. I thought I wasn't gonna enjoy the show from the premise, but I got really invested into the story, and I was pretty disappointed they have not made a season 2 yet, because what the fuck are they doing? Season 2 would pop off. If you made this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out my anime playlist. I have over 30 videos on anime, and I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy if you enjoy this one. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Have a great day, everybody, and peace.